adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Remember, when you're adding fractions of any kind, you always have to have common denominators. So if you have 2/3 plus 2 5/8, you have to find common denominators for those. In this case, that would be 24. And come back up. See what you have to multiply to get to 24. Do the same thing to your numerator. Keep your whole number. Get your new. Then go ahead and add your numerators. Now this is important. 2 plus 0 is 2, right? And we end up with an improper fraction. You cannot leave it an improper fraction. You have to convert it to a mixed number. But don't forget about the 2 at the end. Okay, even if you have to mark it or circle it or do something, don't forget about the 2. Because right now we're just converting this part into a new form. So let's look at it. So 24 goes into 31 one time. Subtract. And I have 7 left over, which makes 7/24. Now this mixed number made 1 7/24. But you still have a 2 over here, 2 wholes. These two numbers have to get added together because you have 2 wholes and whatever this consisted of, which is 1 7/24. So your final answer is going to be 3 7/24. Okay, and then you look to see if this can be simplified anymore, which it can't, so that's our final answer. So when you convert an improper fraction into a mixed number, you must take the whole number here and the whole number that you had in the beginning over here, because they're 2 separate things, and add the wholes together to get your 3. Then just take what's left, because there's no fraction with the 2. This is just made a fraction when you finish. 7/24 goes to the side. Okay, so really watch the details on those types of things. All right, let's talk about subtracting. Subtracting is the same way. You have to find common denominators. The only difference is, remember, we talked about you might have to borrow from the whole to get enough to subtract from. And 7th grade, you have to watch your integers, if they're negative or positive. So let's take one of them that's a little more complicated, that has the borrowing involved. Okay, so we have 8 3/8, take away 4 3/4. We have to find common denominators. I'm going to use 8 because I already have an 8 there. And then, okay, and we're subtracting. Times 2 times 2, that gives me my 8. Put my 4 here, my 8 here. Okay, so this stayed the same because I already had a denominator of 8. So now I can't take 6 away from 3, so I have to borrow. Come over here and make it a 7. Whatever the denominator is, 8, you're adding that 8/8, 1 unit from here, to your fraction. Okay, I took 1 unit from the 8 wholes, made this a 7, took that 1 unit, and I converted it into 8/8, which is equal to 1. I chose 8/8 because that I have to have common denominators. So I don't want to do like 10/10 or 1/1 because I have to have common denominators. So 8 plus 3 is 11. So my new mixed number is 7. That comes down. 7 11/8. Take away 4 6/8. Now I can do it. 6 from 11 is 5. And 4 from 7 is 3. Check your fraction to see if it can be simplified over here. It cannot, so that's your final answer. So watch, every time that you need, anytime the number that's on the right cannot be subtracted from the number on the left. 6 can't take away from 3. Okay, don't flip it. Don't say 3 from 6. You cannot do the opposite direction. It's not a commutative property like addition or multiplication. You can only go this direction. You're going to have to borrow. When you take it, just drop this down by 1 unit. Look at your denominator, and basically you're adding your denominator, top and bottom, because that doesn't get added together. You're adding these together to come up with your new number. So one of those units has been cut up, So now you have enough pieces cut up into eighths that you can take away the 6 from the 11. Okay? The only thing you have to watch 7th grade is you have to watch if there are any integers that are involved other than the standard subtraction or addition one that's here.